Female masturbation is a topic still surrounded by silence. But why is something so natural and healthy still taboo? What if pleasure was seen as a right and not a cause for shame? Today, we're going to break down these barriers and explore 5 myths that need to be debunked. Imagine an open conversation where insecurity gives way to confidence and self-knowledge becomes your greatest weapon of empowerment. Get ready to understand how self-exploration can transform your relationship with yourself and the world around you. How many times is too many? Unraveling the myths about masturbation. When it comes to masturbation, various myths circulate, especially about the ideal frequency and the impact on sexual satisfaction. One of the most common misconceptions is the idea that there is a certain number of times a woman should masturbate. In reality, there is no fixed rule. Each person has their own needs, which vary according to factors such as age, mental and emotional health, stress levels, stage of life, among others. This diversity of experiences makes it impossible to define a universal standard. Another recurring myth is the idea that frequent masturbation indicates dissatisfaction in the relationship. This assumption is incorrect. Masturbation is a healthy practice that can coexist perfectly with a couple's sex life. Many women who have a fulfilling sex life still indulge in moments of individual pleasure. This doesn't mean that they are dissatisfied with their partners or are looking for something they can't get from the relationship. It's also common to hear that masturbation is a substitute for sex. Although some people may use masturbation to meet sexual needs when they don't have a partner available, this doesn't make it a substitute. Sex and masturbation provide different experiences, and both have their value. In fact, masturbation can even improve a couple's sex life, as it allows a woman to get to know her body better, helping her to communicate her preferences and make the relationship more satisfying for both of them. The frequency with which a woman masturbates can vary throughout her life. Stress, hormonal changes, emotional state, and physical health can influence the desire or need to masturbate. The important thing is that each woman feels comfortable exploring her body and discovering what works best for her, without worrying about external standards or judgments. Comparing yourself to other women can generate unnecessary insecurities. What matters is that masturbation is a personal, pleasurable experience, free from external expectations. Finally, accepting that everyone has their own rhythm is essential. Masturbation should be seen as an integral part of female sexuality, not as something that needs to follow rules or standards. Each woman should feel free to explore her body in the way she finds most comfortable, in her own time and without pressure. Pleasure is a personal journey, and everyone should be able to enjoy it on their own terms. Why is female masturbation healthier than you think? Female masturbation is a common and natural practice, although it is still shrouded in taboos that limit its open discussion. This form of self-knowledge is essential for women to explore their bodies, understand their sexual responses, and discover what really brings them pleasure. This process of exploration is liberating, offering valuable insights that can contribute to a more satisfying and balanced sex life. In addition, masturbation is an excellent way to relieve the stress accumulated in everyday life. By taking time for themselves, women can relax, release tension, and promote emotional and mental well-being, which is crucial for a healthy life. This moment of self-care goes beyond physical pleasure. It acts as a form of self-care, which should not be underestimated. The benefits of masturbation for sexual health are also significant. It improves blood circulation in the genital area, which can increase lubrication, sensitivity, and sexual response in general, resulting in more pleasurable sexual experiences, both alone and with a partner. These effects are not temporary. The regular practice of masturbation can have long-term positive impacts, promoting a healthy cycle of pleasure and self-confidence. However, many women still hesitate to masturbate due to shame or discomfort, influenced by cultural prejudices. It's important to reinforce that this practice is a fundamental part of human sexuality and should be approached in a natural and healthy way. By treating masturbation as something normal, we open up space to demystify stigmas and promote a culture where women feel safe and comfortable exploring their bodies without guilt. More than that, female masturbation is a powerful tool for empowerment. When women know themselves better, they become more confident in their sex lives and relationships. creating an environment where pleasure is valued and celebrated and not seen as taboo. Demystifying shame and stigma. The shame and stigma surrounding female masturbation still strongly permeate society. Many women grow up hearing that this act is immoral or shameful, which generates feelings of guilt and discomfort about their sexuality. These social pressures hinder self-knowledge and limit women's freedom to explore their own bodies. It is crucial that we discuss these feelings openly so that women realize that they are unfounded. Masturbation is a natural and healthy practice, essential for physical and emotional well-being. There is no reason for women to be ashamed of seeking pleasure or getting to know themselves better. Talking openly about the subject is the first step towards creating a welcoming space where women feel safe to share their experiences without fear of judgment. Sex education is an indispensable tool in this demystification process. By receiving correct and clear information about their anatomy and sexuality, women gain the confidence and security to challenge these stigmas. This creates a culture of acceptance, where masturbation is recognized as a legitimate and healthy form of pleasure. In addition, it is important for women to support each other. Sharing experiences, letting off steam, and talking about masturbation can ease the emotional burden many carry, allowing them to find empathy and understanding in their journeys. In doing so, they break the cycle of shame that often prevents them from fully experiencing their sexuality. The fight against stigma is ongoing. Talking openly about female masturbation challenges harmful cultural norms and promotes a positive view of sexuality. This not only benefits individual women, but also creates a healthier and more balanced society in relation to pleasure and sexuality. When pleasure is normalized and accepted, everyone gains the right to feel empowered and free to explore their needs and desires. Female masturbation, the key to pleasure and self-knowledge. Female sexual pleasure is often neglected in discussions about sexuality, which contributes to misinformation and the perpetuation of taboos. Unfortunately, society still tends to minimize or ignore women's pleasure, which leads many to not fully explore their bodies. Female masturbation is a powerful tool for self-knowledge and a way of reclaiming one's own pleasure. By practicing masturbation, women allow themselves to discover what really turns them on, better understanding their preferences and pleasure zones. This process is fundamental, as each body is unique and what works for one person may not work for another. Knowing yourself intimately also contributes to greater security in sexual interactions with a partner. When a woman knows what she likes, she can better communicate her preferences, making the experience more pleasurable for both of us. In addition, normalizing female pleasure and masturbation is essential to demystifying the idea that this topic should be avoided or repressed. The more women share their experiences, the more we challenge the prejudices surrounding female sexuality, opening up space for frank and healthy conversations about pleasure. Masturbation is not just a physical practice, it is also a form of empowerment. By claiming their pleasure, women become the protagonists of their own sexual experiences, which can increase their confidence and self-esteem. This self-knowledge reflects positively on various areas of life, providing a sense of control over one's own body and sexuality. Pleasure should not be treated as a luxury, but as an essential part of every woman's life. Finally, by talking openly about female masturbation and pleasure, we promote a necessary change in the way society views female sexuality. Pleasure is a fundamental aspect of the human experience, and when everyone learns to respect and value it, we create a more inclusive and respectful environment for everyone. Pleasure is a journey of self-knowledge, and female masturbation plays a vital role in this process. How masturbation can strengthen your relationships. Masturbation is often seen as taboo within relationships, but this perspective is mistaken. In fact, it can be a powerful ally for couples. When each partner has the freedom to explore their own body, it leads to a deeper understanding of their own needs and desires. Far from creating distance, masturbation can bring partners closer together, reinforcing emotional and sexual intimacy. By getting to know each other better, everyone brings new ideas and experiences to the relationship, which enriches the moments together and helps break the routine. Talking about masturbation also opens the door to honest conversations about what each person likes, increasing complicity between partners. This creates an environment of trust, where both feel comfortable expressing their preferences and limits. In addition, masturbation can relieve tensions that sometimes affect a couple's sex life. We're not always in the mood or have the energy for sex as a couple, and masturbation can be a healthy way of releasing sexual tension, preventing it from turning into frustration or conflict. It's important to emphasize that masturbation is not a substitute for sex, but can be a complementary practice. It doesn't mean that the person is dissatisfied with the relationship. In fact, it meets individual needs in a healthy way and without compromising the love connection. By accepting masturbation as something positive in the relationship, many prejudices are broken down, creating an environment where respect and trust prevail. The result is a healthier and more satisfying relationship, where both partners feel free to explore their needs and desires. By demystifying masturbation within the relationship, we promote a space of authentic and shared intimacy, where individual and mutual pleasure is valued. It's time to leave behind the stigmas and see pleasure as something positive and natural. If you feel more comfortable exploring your sexuality after this video, we've already taken a big step. So, what else would you like to discuss about female pleasure? Leave your questions or experiences in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more conversations that will transform your view of sexuality. Pleasure is your right. Let's continue this journey together.